Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Let's get ready to be at our best, now. Be at our best.
Yeah, it's going to be a boring one today.
Those guys don't all suck.
You son of a B!
ASAP, any score, any place, you know we bring well. We bout there. We'll pull up on anybody and get it done.
Suck it, Raiders.
He is dicked.
I love you, Jay. Bye.
Joe, start fast.
They're the next team on our schedule, and we're trying to do something big here. We're trying to win a Super Bowl.
It's another beautiful day.
It is.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with two Duggan brothers. Duggan brother number one, Duggan.
Me.
And Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
Kevin's a princess.
Shut up. Why are you ruining that?
Princess
He was
Kevin.
doing awesome like World Wrestling Federation voice and you ruined it, Kyle.
Yeah, well, you're a princess and everyone needs to know.
Yeah, they trash talk each other. They do the Ultimate Warrior coming in, Macho Man Randy Savage. We're feeling we got a little bit more energy here, folks. It's a bye week, so we didn't win, we didn't lose. We're just feeling all right.
What have you guys been doing? I honestly don't know what's happening. I've had nothing to do. Fantasy football is just not very much fun when you lose, and I lost, and I don't like football this week, actually.
It's half my team is sitting on the bench right now because of they're all Chargers. So I picked up Green Bay's defense. They got me negative points. It's not been a good week for me.
Yeah, did you just sat on your Chargers and took an L? You just kept them, didn't you?
Oh, well, I kept most of them. I kept Eckler, I kept Keenan Allen, I kept Justin Jackson.
Oh, you're holding on hope for Eck to come back, huh?
Oh,
I
you
love
better
it.
believe
It's
it.
his playoff run. It's his playoff run guy. I love that.
No, Eckler is the man. I'm not losing him in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah, it's a bye week, folks. So we've just been kind of sitting around looking at each other and keeping an eye on what's been going on for the Chargers as well as around the league. And surprisingly, there's some hope. You know, there's some prayers, and we'll see what happens. And we've also got lots of stuff to talk about with fan focuses. Ask Twitter. You guys have been very vocal. I love it.
We're doubling down on fan focuses this week, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. We've got
double the trouble.
double the fans, double the focus. So before we get to any of that, though,
I don't know about double the focus.
well, just roll with it.
Shut up, Kyle. That's what he's saying. Shut up.
Yeah, don't naysay me.
Shut up, princess.
Shut up.
Let's take a look at what's been going on around the league. This was I got to tell you, it's a little bit of Schadenfreude here, folks.
That was my cop car trying.
That's like an
More of
ambulance.
an ambulance. Didn't work.
We got nothing.
We've never been pulled
been in
over,
any
if we
so
chases
we don't
here.
really know
we'll get
what
there.
it's like.
Guys, if we keep trying, we'll get there.
Beep boop, beep beep boop, beep.
Oh dear. Oh dear. We are already
So you
off
guys
the
can
rails.
see we are rusty. This is a bye week and we've had nothing to do.
Da-na-na.
Let's look at why we're trying to make these police sounds. Melvin Gordon. Didn't think I'd be saying his
Gordo.
name again. Melvin Gordon apparently was charged with the DUI after officers said that his speech was slurred. There was a smell of alcohol on his breath. A DUI would result in a 3-game suspension, which, according to the report, would cost Gordon 800,000 bonerinos if served next season. So the Broncos would also have the option to void his $4.5 million
Wouldn't
in
that be
guarantees if
sweet?
they chose to.
Golly, man, he could have had so
Goodness.
much money with the Chargers, and now he's going to end up with nothing.
Dude, here's the problem. You should
Gomer.
not have gone to Denver. Everyone knows you can't drink in higher altitudes. It's just you don't do it. You get twice as drunk, Melvin. You got to pull it together, man. I really don't care because you
Man,
suck. I just
I'm
wanted to
sick and
wanted
tired
to put
of
it in the
talking
outline
about
because
Melvin.
he sucks. And I'm glad no one got hurt from his stupid decision making.
Absolutely.
Gosh,
Absolutely.
it's like, why do you not have someone driving you everywhere? I guess COVID makes it harder.
Well,
I don't know.
he's not making quite as much as you would think for a star running back that wants all the money. So, he's got to drive himself places.
Got to be enough to afford an Uber, though. I mean, come on.
The driver wouldn't recognize him and would talk about him. That's how they do it.
Brings up a good point. Are they allowed to have like Uber drivers since they're in the, I'm sure the coaches aren't a lot like wanting that. right?
I mean, maybe that
like,
was the reason
interaction
behind
with other
it.
people.
Yeah.
You're going to drive yourself home no matter what. We have guidelines and you're sticking to them.
Right.
So we should blame this on the Denver coach, Melvin. Go after him.
You better not get sick. And then, of course, the game, he doesn't show up because he's sick. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
There were some good hangover
fishy.
jokes on social media after that. one
No
came about,
sure.
doubt. No doubt. So, it feels like a dodged bullet when you see stuff like this happen.
It's definitely a serious situation, and making light of it is not that great, but it is kind of funny that it happened to him because karma's a bitch. So
Right. It's
take that.
Schadenfreude up the wazoo on that one. Also looking at a couple of, or another ex-Charger, I should say, Phillip Rivers pulled out a big win this last Sunday. It was good to see him. And during the post-game, mentioned some of his friends from the West Coast. And let's see what happens to his voice when he talks about that.
Hey, Phillip, 17th season. How much fun are you having?
I'm having a lot of fun. I tell you, you certainly miss a lot of people, out west, teammates and stuff. But I'm really enjoying the new relationships here. It's a great locker room. It's a great coaching staff. There's a lot of good people here. So I'm enjoying the heck out of it.
We saw that today. Phillip Rivers, thank you so much. Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Oh, Phil.
What was that?
Phil.
That was so sad.
Dude,
He's
like
still
you
thinking
can't,
about
you,
us.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I think
Phil.
he was thinking about me when he started crying.
Probably.
Yeah.
No,
Princess.
it was
No, but like it's a sad thing. It's like
Princess.
he's talking all positively about his new team while crying, thinking about us. It's like you're with the new girlfriend, but all you can think about is the one you were just with. So I just feel bad for him, dude. I'm glad he got that W, but God, it's just hearing him get emotional about talking about us. We're clearly still on his mind, and he misses
Exactly.
us. So that's a
It-
cool thing.
It's somehow the Chargers are still on his mind. And after a W, like a big, huge comeback win, he's still thinking about the Charger, which to me is crazy. Like, you think these guys just kind of move on a little bit, you know?
Well, I mean, you got to think about it, and this is why we love Phil, folks. For those that go, why do you like Phillip Rivers? It's because he wears his emotions on his sleeve in situations like this. But I mean, imagine being with the team for as long as he was, and when you get those wins and you celebrate those wins, you're celebrating with a lot of the same faces that you're used to seeing. And so now to get this big win in Indianapolis, you look around and you're like, oh no, that guy's not here. Oh no, that guy's not here. So it's like
it's kind of sad, man.
You got to think about
sad.
like being able to celebrate those wins with a brand new group of guys, which I'm sure he is. I'm sure he loves playing with that team, but you just don't see the same faces. And so it's just a reminder that you're not with the team that you were with for over a decade. So it's sad to hear, but again, we love Phil and good to see him get that win. In the AFC West news, Chiefs decided to add a freaking another weapon in their belt. I just don't get it.
How do we feel about this, honestly? Like, Le'Veon Bell did not look good as a Jets player this year so far. So I'm not like, maybe previous years I'd have been like, oh no, like they have everything they need. But why crowd that backfield when you already have Hilaire back there? I don't understand this move. I see that you got him for absolutely nothing. This is very much like a Patriots kind of contract that they somehow got. But I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on Le'Veon?
Yeah, he was hurt. That's why he didn't really play well. He missed out of the 5 games that he was there for. He missed 3 of them with injury, and he has arguably the worst team in the NFL. And he has an opportunity to go win a Super Bowl while getting paid by the Jets. Like that's why he went. That's why he went to the Chiefs.
Right.
Isn't that kind of like a cheap way to go about it? Like just jump ship like a quarter of the way into the season, be like, all right,
they cut him.
now.
Yeah, they cut him,
Sweet.
man. Like he didn't. He was very vocal about not wanting to be there.
Right.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing is like he holds out in Pittsburgh for more money. Takes a year off, gets picked up by the Jets, gets a bunch of guaranteed money, and then they let him go. So now he's sitting on a freaking mountain of money going, where do I want to play? I probably would want to play with like the last Super Bowl winners.
Yeah.
That sounds good. And it doesn't matter if you
And
don't
I'm
give
not
me
gonna get
anything
hurt.
because I'm sitting on a big fat stack of cash already.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's crazy chess that that they're playing. Whether or not he actually plays well is yet to be seen.
Guys, that's wishful thinking that he's not going to play well. Andy Reid is the running back coach of the NFL, and he now has arguably one of the top 5 best running backs in the league, along with his rookie standout. Like, we don't want this to be good, but it's going to be. Like,
can you do me a favor? Can you quit with this positive Chiefs talk? Okay, this isn't Chiefs talk. This is
very
Charger
much
chat.
just realistic talk.
I need you to be positive on the Chargers and negative on the Chiefs. Can you
I'm not
spin
saying
this
that
in some kind of negative way?
Hey, Princess, chill.
Whoa.
When they play the Chargers, our better coaches will learn or figure out a way to stop him. But it's gonna work. Like, they're gonna find different things to put in place to make it work. You know it's gonna be a good thing. But so yeah, it really, really sucks that Le'Veon is playing chess and he's 4 moves ahead of everyone, and now he's gonna get paid bank, and now he's on the Chiefs, and he's gonna get like 40% of the snaps, not gonna get hurt, and he's gonna sign another big contract next year with somebody else.
It's just, hey, the way you can look at this in a positive light, guys, is like, we aren't the Jets. So we got that going for us. Which is nice.
When you look at how we performed against Tampa Bay, and then to watch Green Bay, who
smoked them,
had no losses yet this year, and played against Tampa Bay and just got completely wrecked. And I'm sorry, Josie, but they got completely wrecked. And to see that the Chargers are able to hold their own against Tampa Bay with the injuries that we have, there's still a lot of hope for this team. We've played against some really tough contenders. So the remaining schedule doesn't look quite as hard as these first 5 games that we've had to play. So there's a lot of hope to be had here, folks. Don't jump ship just yet. I know we're still sitting at 1-4. We got a bye week. We got some players that might be coming back. So just hang on tight.
I think just quickly before we move on, the 1-4 thing, I saw something where it was Lynn was on the Giants when they started 1-4 and went and won the Super Bowl. And he talked to the team about that and had a speech about that. I read about that. And we got to remember that there's still a lot of football to be played.
There's a ton of football to play.
People talking about tanking for offensive linemen. I'm seeing all kinds of crazy stuff going on. There's still so much football left, and just chill.
Just chill. I know.
I think that it is you trying to set expectations, and I think every fan's allowed to set their own expectation.
Absolutely.
So, like, if obviously everyone's pissed off, so set your expectation. If that's what you think, like, oh, if we go 4-12, we get a great draft pick. Perfect. But guess what? If we exceed that expectation, that's still a good thing.
Right.
So it's okay to adjust your expectation, but don't get pissed off when we start winning games, because that's ridiculous.
That's the wrong kind of fan that we need on this team. So in talking about this team, let's take a look at what's been going on with the team news. There was a very interesting tweet that came out that showed a little bit about Justin Herbert and his character. Apparently, Joey Bosa said that Herbert apologized to him on this Monday night loss for a missed throw. Bosa responded, "It's okay with all the amazing throws that you've made." He says that he is proud of the young quarterback. So, I mean, initially, my initial gut response was like, okay, this guy is like holding the world on his shoulders. If he's going up, playing as well as he did, setting records on a Monday night win and going to other guys and apologizing, the guy is like carrying the world on his shoulders.
I think he very much is. He's creating a bond with his teammates right now.
Absolutely.
Like, he's basically apologizing for a very simple thing that really didn't control the outcome of that game, but he's putting it on his shoulders. He's taking responsibility for it with a guy that just got paid one of the highest contracts in the league. Like, he can go up to him and feel comfortable saying that. I think that's huge. What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, and the NFL is a different beast than like us playing Pop Warner. Like, the offensive players and the defensive players don't necessarily mingle a lot. They have a lot of separated practices. A lot of when they do practice together, they're like against each other. There's not a whole, like, always, I'm sure there's not a lot of great tight bonds between offensive players and defensive players. So when I see something like this, I think it's really cool that they are interacting on a personal level after the game, that he is going out of his way to talk to one of the captains and leaders of the team and Joey and be like, all right, like, let's go. Like, I got you. I'm taking responsibility. And like, there's a lot of times as a coach that I would take responsibility for a game that I knew the players blew. but it almost, in a way, it takes it a little bit off of them to be like, guys, like, move on. Next week, let's go. I'll make up for it. You guys play better. Let's get after it. So I do think it was a little bit more of that. Obviously, the guy's playing out of his mind right now for a rookie, getting tossed into this role. No training camp, no preseason games. So he probably doesn't actually feel that way, but I do think it's a good character, team building type of move that he made for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you guys pointed that out to me, it was just like, well, you know, that's what a leader does is, you know, takes responsibilities for what they didn't do and doesn't celebrate necessarily what they did, you know, and that's just the kind of guy that Herbert appears to be. He's that quiet guy that quietly celebrates his wins, but, you know, fully accepts whatever mistakes he could have made. And he's such a good quarterback. I'm really excited to have this guy. Other news that's going on with the Chargers. I mean, we've had just a scroll of injuries, and there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel for a couple of them. Ingram and Justin Jones from the IR getting activated this week. So there is a possibility with Ingram and Jones designation now in effect. LA has 21 days to officially activate them. That opportunity might come as early as this week ahead of their week 6 matchup against the Jaguars. So we get Melvin Ingram back. We get Justin Jones back. Possibly. We're not making any assumptions yet, but possibly we're holding out a little bit of hope. What is that going to do for this defense?
I think I was reading an article earlier today about Justin Jones and what he does for all the other players. It's that, you know, taking away those double teams, taking away that stuff. And Tillery is kind of disappeared. Remember how we were all excited for him coming out to a big hot start the first couple weeks? And a lot of that downtick in his production has been pretty directly related to Justin Jones not being in the lineup. So he's having to play a lot more. He's not getting that help. So I think not only will Justin Jones come in and help us make us a better, stronger defensive front with more depth, but it'll also help some of these other players get better. And then Ingram, like, come on, bulk gang or don't bang. Like, we need him back. We need to get that pass rush going, because clearly we didn't have a lot of pass rush the last couple games, and I think that's what set us back. That's why we didn't get to these older quarterbacks and create problems. So getting him back will be huge. Hopefully it's sooner. You know, don't just get super excited that, you know, they're activated off the IR back to the roster. Doesn't mean they're going to play. Let's pray and hope they do, but manage those expectations.
Manage them. Yeah, these guys in their positions is just going to open up and let the other guys play the positions that they're meant to play. Like, let Tillery do what he does, let Kaiser White do what he does, let Nwosu do what he does, and get this defense looking back to what it should be in the hopefully either next week or the week after that. And yeah, that's something to be excited about to see what happens. So we'll see. As it stands right now, there's nothing official yet, but they have been activated, at least back from the IR. Whether or not they'll play remains to be seen. Some other possible returning injured players after the bye: Keenan Allen, Trey Turner, Brian Balaga, Iowa. We haven't really heard anything from these guys yet as far as what their status is or whether or not they're going to be coming back. So cross your fingers, say your prayers, do whatever it is that you do, folks. You fans out there, wear your hat the way that you do, wear that pair of underwear that you haven't changed in over a week, whatever you got to do.
Oof.
Do what you got to do.
Take one for the team
to get these guys back. And one of the other guys that we've been seeing quite a bit of, at least on social media, is Austin Eckler. Boy, he's on the bikes. He's stretching rubber bands around his ankles. He's showing some progress of hopefully getting back out there.
He's rehabbing quickly, man. It's kind of fun to watch. And if you have, like I said in previous episodes, if you're on Twitch, you got to go follow him, because he'll play games and hang out with fans, and then before he does all that, he'll answer questions. And he just seems very positive. He seems like in an uplifted mood. He did mention something about how he's pissed off that his quads are getting smaller, but he can't. What are you supposed to do? You can't do your squats all the time. So. With that injury, so hopefully he gets back. I'm hoping it's that quick one. Like, he just seems like a really strong guy in every other part of his body. Like, bouncing back from injuries is a lot easier when you're extremely fit. So hopefully he can, keep rolling and keep getting better and get back to us soon.
Absolutely, he's such a crucial part of that run game, and for him to rebound from the injury to not have to undergo necessarily any surgery and to just be able to rehab how he has been and showing such great progress. I mean, the fingers are crossed that he comes back. It would not be how it's gone in the past with other players that have been injured, that we hope they come back and then hope they're going to stay out another week or hope they're going to stay out another week. This is looking kind of promising to get Austin Eckler back ASAP, any squad, any place. That's what I'm talking about.
Your buddy.
So, lot of hope for us on this Chargers team. We're playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We got to win. We got to win. I'm sorry. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars. We got to beat these guys. So, in looking forward to the next game, we don't really have a lot of tape to go over for previous games, but still, we got to look to the coach to give us a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of breakdown of what to look forward to. So, Coach, what do you got for us today on Coach's Corner?
Yeah, so I didn't have, I'm just going to be honest, I didn't have the time to go look through all of the.
I give you an intro like that. I give you all
Oh
the,
my
like
God.
the coach is here.
You're getting like the WWF hype man.
I know,
You're
I'm
blowing
sorry,
it,
guys.
princess. Come on.
I feel bad. Like I like to go through and game plan and prep against an opposing team. I love watching our film. But to go through and watch a Jaguars Lions game, I just couldn't do it, guys. So I did go through and look at some of the stats just so we kind of have an idea of what kind of a team we're looking to play, and where are some areas that we might be able to take advantage. So on offense, it's all about Gardner Minshew, and he throws the ball and throws the ball and then throws the ball again. Every game this season, he threw the ball.
So you're saying he throws the ball?
Yeah, a lot.
I just want to make sure I put that on.
Week 1, 45 attempts. Week 2, 42 attempts, 40 attempts, 49 attempts, 44 attempts. So they throw the ball a ton, almost close to 50 times a game.
Wow.
So that's not a run pass type of an offense. They're trying to air the ball out and take chances. He's 4th in yards in the NFL with 1682. But his QB rating's at a 59. So all of his production is just based on volume. So they have to throw the ball a lot to be successful. So we can't expect them to air it out. If a quarterback throws the ball 50 times a game, we have to get at least a pick, and there's got to be a few sacks in there, or else it's going to be a long day. So I anticipate us playing our normal type of defense. I don't see us coming out and taking a huge amount of chances and blitzing a lot. That's just not our MO. But hopefully we switch it up a little bit. And hopefully Melvin Ingram's back. Man, if our pass rush with Ingram, Bosa, having Justin Jones and Tillery being able to be in there, it's a big difference. So they do throw the ball a lot. And the other thing is it's very rounded. They do have a number 1, Keelan Cole. He has about 300 something yards on the year. But they have 4 receivers over 200 yards. So it's not like we need to stop this guy and we'll shut down their offense. It's pretty well rounded. So it is going to be, you just got to be a team effort to be able to slow things down. And then the ground attack is one guy, James Robinson, their rookie running back.
Mm-hmm.
The second leading rusher is Gardner Minshew. So he's the guy. They're going to feed him the rock. It's kind of a 2-man show between James Robinson and Gardner Minshew. So, they're just not. I don't want to say they're not that good, but they haven't.
I'll say
been
it.
able
I'll
to
say
produce.
They're not that good.
I don't know, man.
They're
I
really not that good.
I get worried saying that, and if
Knock
God
on wood,
forbid something
they're not that
happens,
good.
and
That shit rhymed.
it'll probably be a 1-score game, but they're not that good. Defensively, they have 6. They have 6 picks on the year, which is, as we know, is pretty impressive.
That is,
6 games, 6 interceptions. So they're defensive backs. They fly around. I haven't watched enough tape to see if it is they disguise a lot. But I'd assume they take a lot of chances. Being a pretty poor team, they're probably bringing some pressure, which I hope is the case because Jay Burt has proven that he can handle pressure and make them pay for it. But they are going to be aggressive, so you can catch them. You can catch them on double moves. We can try to take advantage of their aggressiveness. So we'll see how that works. An interesting fact on special teams: they've played 5 games and they've had 5 different kickers.
Oh wow!
They've had a guy get hurt every single week. This last week, their kicker was his name was John Brown. So he was a soccer player at Kentucky. and then he walked on as a kicker at Louisville, and he never kicked a field goal or extra point. He was
in college.
He was ever in his life. He was
They couldn't find anyone else.
He was a kickoff specialist in college for 1 year at Louisville. He walked on, and then he's been a free agent, bounced around, and they were down to their number 5 guy, so they gave him a shot. So all that being said, you can anticipate when they cross the 50, they're going to be aggressive on 4th down. There's not really much. They're not going to try any deep field goals. We don't have to, which is good for our defense. We are a little bit more conservative, make them drive all the way down and score touchdowns. That's kind of our MO. So hopefully their number 5 guy shanks a couple, and that puts us in a good position.
Excellent.
All right, Coach.
All right.
Thanks, Coach. That was solid. Not bad. I thought I was expecting way worse with your preface. I thought it was going to be like, oh, I got nothing for you today.
No,
boys.
I didn't look. I tried to watch some of that Lions Jags game, and it was torture, guys. I'm sorry. I love this podcast and I love football, but I can't watch Lions Jags.
All right. Well, that's good. That's gives us something to look forward to. It lets us know as fans what to keep an eye on, and apparently what we need to keep an eye on is Gardner Minshew. So hopefully the defense is prepping well against this Jacksonville team. They have seemed to be in a bit of a decline. They came out kind of hot in the first couple games, but the past few have been kind of not so great. But if he's slinging the ball as much as he is, our secondary will be ready to pluck that baby out of the sky. Excellent. So now, as we leave Coach's Corner, we move on to our next destination, which would be our fan focus. And as Kevin teased at the beginning, we got a double dose this week. What do we got this week, Kev?
Well, we double dipped for sure. I'm not going to tell you the second one. We're going to leave that as a surprise.
Oh, dear.
But the first one was amazing. Had a fan reach out to us from Auckland, New Zealand. So we are going to go chat with Tonga. A funny story, when I did the fan focus with him, he was sitting in his car. I was like, "What's going on, man?" He's like, I told my boss I was leaving and I had to go have lunch, and I just sat in the car to do the podcast. So he had to bail on work to come talk to us. So
wow, that's awesome.
We appreciate you, Tonga, and hopefully no one at your work listens to our podcast and get you in trouble.
Well, good planning.
So let's kick it. I'm going to throw it to myself.
Ooh.
And away we go. All right. Well, I'm super excited to have Tonga from Auckland, New Zealand is joining us. Thanks for coming on, Tonga.
No worries. It's awesome to be on the podcast, Kev.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, so I'm fascinated, you being from New Zealand. Like, how did you become a Charger fan? How did that happen?
So my dad used to do work off and on in the States in the 90s. And I guess when I was, I think I was 8, my dad sent a box over of like just stuff he collected. Like he knew I was into sports. And one of the things he got me was a Junior Seau jersey. Dad started rolling. I'd watch games of Junior, just dominating people. So it's just like, I could relate to it being Polynesian. And, so he's definitely was definitely what started me off as a Chargers fan. Funny note is I come from a family filled with 49ers fans who live in the Bay Area. So it's like I fly my flag whenever I can.
I love it. You got the Bosa brother connection though. That's a good thing.
Yeah. But they don't bring that up. They just think I'm some lame Chargers fan. But if everybody who basically lives in San Francisco, they always give me heaps. But that's what it is.
Stay strong, my man. I love it.
I know.
That's cool. So you've been a fan for a while. Junior Seau, that was kind of my heyday when I really was getting into football, playing Pop Warner, and Junior Seau was like everything to me. 55. So what is the culture of the NFL like in New Zealand? Like, is there a lot of fans, or are you kind of flying solo out there?
No, well, see, the thing is, Kev, is that in New Zealand, everyone jumps up at the hype train. They're all either Raiders fans who were big in the 80s or 49ers fans who were big in the 90s. It's kind of like that thing. Whereas, like, to find Chargers fans, whenever I find them around New Zealand, it's like we can talk for hours. Just because you're a true fan, it's kind of that thing where it's like you can connect on a level that only Chargers fans can connect on. There isn't, NFL football in New Zealand, as you know, being in New Zealand, rugby is the biggest sport here.
Yeah.
But there's such a, with ESPN being on all the time with so many ways of watching games, the fan base for NFL in general is massive here now. So you're bound to find somebody who supports a team religiously over here.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's just kind of a fascinating thing, like the bandwagon experience. And when you run into a Charger fan who like if you run into a Charger fan, you know they've been beat up a lot and they're a diehard. Like you know, especially this season, you could just feel it. Like, all right, let's put on this warm blanket of we sucked this last couple of years, and we'll talk about it. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, Kev, like over here, they call them tragics. If you're a sports fan who supports a team that hasn't won a championship and you're like religious in supporting a team like I am with the Chargers, everyone calls me a tragic at work because they know I'm a Chargers fan. And then when it comes to Mondays, and if we lose, because games are on at 6 a.m. or like at 9 a.m. on Monday mornings.
Yeah.
And as soon as the Chargers lose, somebody at work's like, yeah, I saw the game, bro. You know?
Oh, no.
Guess you guys suck. But the thing is, it's like, yeah, my wife knows, my sons know that, like, it's, man, you can't jump off the train now. Like, you literally, my sons will be Chargers fans. Their sons will be Chargers fans. We have never lived in San Diego or LA, but it is what it is.
That's your team. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, same thing with me. My wife's a pretty big Packer fan, and my kids, like, she'll put a Packer jersey on them. I'll take that shit right off, put a Charger jersey on. So,
well, yeah, it's the same thing. Like, I grew up a Chargers fan because of Junior. And then in the 2000s, it was LT, but I was a massive Malcolm Floyd fan. So it's like, it's just, and there were so many Polynesian players that played for the Chargers, you know. Brandon Manu Maleuna, who was Antonio Gates' backup tight end. Like,
was it Troy? Was it Papanu? What was the guy that opened up the football?
Yeah. And drunken like a coconut. Yeah, he was a tight end too.
Yeah,
it's like it's so crazy, just the culture of the Chargers. But just like that, I don't know. It just relates to me so much that it's in my blood now. So yeah, I love it. I love
that's
Chargers
awesome,
football.
man. Well, we're glad to be associated with you. That's awesome, brother. So we're always trying to be positive. It's been kind of hard. We've run into some good teams this year. So what has been your favorite part of the year so far? What has gotten you excited the most?
Oh man, just how we're in games and we're playing with third and fourth string players. Like our depth's been challenged, but I guess now that people are coming back from IR, you got Justin Jones coming back and Melvin Ingram, and our team's starting to become healthy. But we've got a franchise quarterback. Like, who would have thought that in 2020 we lose Phillip Rivers and we move straight into the king? You know, it's like
crazy.
It blows my mind. And whenever anybody says anything about the Chargers at work, I'm just like, well, we've got Justin Herbert. Who have you guys got? That's always my comeback.
Yeah.
But just it's not. It's and one thing I saw with them playing in Oregon. And again, the ties to Polynesia with the Oregon players. But the one thing I saw in every Oregon game I saw was poise that he had, and he never changed. There was nothing too high, nothing too low. You know, they're beating teams by 40. He was still the same. You know, it's just like the fun of the game. You know, like if you're losing, he's there to pick you up. If he's high, he's there to enjoy it with you. He's just got that demeanor about it. And I guess any football team, that's what you want. You want a franchise quarterback, and I think we've got the pieces to make it run. But it's so hard to be 1-4. And I'm sorry to say, Kev, but you see teams like the Bears who are like 5-1.
Yeah,
and it's like it's so painful. I'm going gray. Like,
I know, right?
You're like, how are the Bears winning these games? I didn't even know I put myself in watching Game Pass. Bears games that, like, it's just so painful how bad they are, but how good their record is, you know. So I guess the highlights would be our depth chart, and also our franchise quarterback. Anytime the Chargers play on the week, I'm always happy, sir. Awesome. That's what it is.
All right, well, let's finish it out with this. What's your prediction for this Jaguars game? What do you think the score is going to be?
I'm going to be so happy on Monday. The Chargers win. I'm going to get 32-17. 16.
That's a good.
16.
I just did some research on the Jaguars, and they haven't scored over 20 in a long time. So I think
and that's
on the money.
Yeah. I've been watching their games, the last 2 games on Game Pass, and it really, with our pass rush coming back, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a great game.
I want it to be dominant. I will feel better if we dominate that game.
Exactly. I will be happy and over the moon if we dominate them, because that'll set a precedence for the rest of the season. It's going to be awesome.
Absolutely, brother. Well, thank you so much, Tonga. I really appreciate it, and thank you for reaching out. It's nice to talk to Charger fans from all over the world, and keep the power strong down there. You know, keep the Charger love going.
Oh man, well, Kev, your guys' podcast is something that I always click into and listen to. There's way more people in New Zealand that listen to you guys, so keep it going.
Awesome.
I love Kyle's updates on Coach Kyle, because it gives us an insight, because I've never played football, on how the things that the players should take ownership to coaching. You know, it's really cool. And you guys are so the vibe. You guys bring the vibe all the time. So awesome.
We appreciate it, Tonga. Have a good one, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you too, bro.
All right, bro. Bolt up.
Hit up.
Did we just become best friends?
Man,
I love Tonga, dude. He rules, man. He rules.
Man, he needs to do segments instead of me. He's putting in work on a Game Pass.
I know, dude.
He's watching Game Pass.
He'll actually
Coach,
watch
what
the
are you
game.
doing?
He's watching Jags Lions. He's watching Jags Lions. That's impressive, man. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. It's just so cool to talk to fans from all over the world. Like, we kind of forget. We feel like we're in this little microcosm, and it's just us, and we're by ourselves. But no, man. Like, him and his kids and their kids, like he's locked them down into being Charger fans, and that's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that.
Way too cool, Tonga. I listened to that whole thing with a big old smile on my face, man. You made my day to to let us know that we keep the vibe going, because that's all we can do as fans, man. We can keep the vibe going. We can be sad and salty and throw stuff at walls, but that's not going to get anything done. We got to stick together as fans and look forward to the next game. So thank you so much, man.
And can you guys do me a favor? Can you say Kev like he does? Because my name sounds so much cooler coming out of his mouth than your guys' for sure.
You're Huggin. I got to call you Huggin. I could call you Kev. I could call you Kev.
I kind of digging the Kev. Dude.
I can only call you Princess
you don't say it
now.
like that. Will you, Kyle? Shut up. Stop with the princess shit. Thank you.
Sorry, mister. I don't know how to log into Zoom.
Oh man,
send me
bring
the
on the off the air drama. It's all good. It's all good. Tonga,
sorry,
can't thank you enough, man. That was too cool for school. But get ready, folks, because there's another shot lined up on the bar. Who is that, Kev?
We talk about her a lot. So we were lucky enough to have the one, the only Karen. So Karen is
the best Karen in the world.
Finally, Karen is joining us on the podcast, and it was an awesome interview. So let me just go ahead and throw it to myself. All right, the day has finally come. We have one of our favorite fans finally on Fan Focus after a few weeks of not being able to do it, and we have Karen. Karen is finally on the Charger Chat podcast. What is going on, Karen?
Hi, how are you? It's so nice to finally meet you.
I know. I feel like I know you so well after Twitter and social media, and I feel like we're best friends. Sure. So tell us a little bit, like, when we do these fan focuses, we want to find out, how people became Charger fans. So how did you become a Charger fan?
First, before I do that, can I just say something super quick?
Do it.
I have got to just thank you guys for what you do for us. I listen to like a bunch of Charger podcasts because I love the Chargers. And when I found you guys, I think it was Melvin Gordon's Salty Tears seasoning that just did me in. And it was just so much laughter and so much joy and so much fun and so much knowledge that you guys are just the best. I love how Bulldog keeps you guys under control and keeps the things flowing.
Yeah.
Yes. And Kyle, okay, I got to tell Kyle. So today we're watching the Chiefs game and I'm watching and I go to my husband, oh, look, the defense is showing cover 2. Boom. And I learned that from him because as a female, I don't know X's and O's of football. I know about this team. I know about these players, but all of that stuff, I love when he does that. And then, of course, you and your love for Phillip Rivers and my love for Phillip. It's like,
we
so I just want to thank you guys.
No,
Yeah,
we honestly, Karen, thank you. You've done so much for us, connected us with so many people in the inner circle of Charger fandom. So thank you so much for everything you've done. So,
you're welcome.
all right. Well, we love each other. Well, let's get on. Let's get on. So, how did you become a Charger fan? How did that happen?
Air Coryell. Long and short is Air Coryell. Just like an amazing offense, was like something you had never seen before. So much offense going on, and I just fell in love with the team from then. And I've been a diehard ever since.
That's awesome. So, where are you originally? Are you from LA? Do you live in San Diego? Where are you at?
My dad was career Navy. So every like 15 months we moved around, and I lived like all over the place, mostly continental United States. And sports became kind of my way of coping with moves. Cause you're the new kid on the block. Every 15 months, you got to make new friends, and finding sports was a really good way to kind of comfort me in those times when I didn't know anybody. And then when I found the Chargers, I had found the Chargers. I can't remember where we were living. It might have been like Rhode Island, Patriots country. And I just fell in love. So then my dad decides to retire. He moves back to Southern California. And then that's when I really kind of hooked up with other fans who liked the Chargers. And then I became like a season ticket holder. And here we are now.
That's awesome. Well, that's a perfect segue. You're very connected into the hub of Charger fans, San Diego, LA, the team. Tell us kind of how that happened and how you became everyone. How did that happen?
When I didn't know anybody when they were in San Diego, social media was still kind of new. I'd met some people through social media and was starting to connect. But because I lived in Orange County, I was driving down for games, and it's not like you go, like, a lot of people who are Chargers fans. I felt like I was like in a whole nother place, but I love that team. I made a few friends, and I would go down and tailgate with them, but then I'd have to leave right away because that drive back home was brutal.
Sure.
When the team decided to move, I lost all of my friends in San Diego. They all decided.
Oh, they jumped ship. They bailed on them. Oh, man.
And then they became mean. So they were kind of what Josh was saying about the Salt Team Sticks.
Yeah.
They started attacking. They started being really angry because I was staying with the team. And so when the team moved to LA, social media became a big thing where there was such a small group of us that we became super, super tight. And that's where I found Die Hard Bowl Club, which I'm a member, a leader in Die Hard Bowl Club. And through Die Hard Bowl Club, I have been able to find like a family, and not only just through Die Hard Bowl Club, but just through all of the brand new Charger fans that we have, and the ones who were in San Diego decided to turn their back. Then they decided to come back, and welcome back. We're happy to have them so back, and that's kind of how it happened. So through Die Hard Bowl Club and all of the things that we do kind of for the Chargers and through the Chargers made a lot of really good connections.
Yeah, it's fascinating because we had plans to go to games and meet up with other fans and stuff. And this year has very much been the year of let's become social media friends. And I'm finding so many cool people that I would have never have met at the tailgates just because they weren't there. So this is just like a perfect base year where we can get all together and then we can go meet at the tailgates and, enjoy the brand new stadium.
Exactly. It's so funny because when you're at Thunder Alley, it's so crazy. It's like the videos you see do not do it justice. It's crazy how crowded it is and how much fun it is. And you'll just have people walk up and go, Karen, I know you from Twitter. And I'm like, hey, hi. It's really like you make these connections. And probably some of my best girlfriend Charger friends are people that I met through Twitter. And we kind of went to an event together and just kind of bonded. And now we're just like BFFs.
I love it. That's so awesome. Well, and let's, I'm very curious because you messaged us that you've had the opportunity to, I believe, be a part of the draft, be a part of the video box and the draft, and then Monday Night Football. So tell us about that. That was amazing seeing you up there.
God. What a blessing. I mean, how lucky. I'm like one of the luckiest fans ever. The draft happened through Die Hard Bowl Club. The Chargers do reach out to their super fans because they want them on the floor.
Yeah.
And when COVID hit and we weren't able to have the draft, they decided to do virtual, and they gave us that many spots in the virtual draft to be able to have our super fans come in. Well, a few of them couldn't make it for whatever reason. And so I just got lucky enough to be asked to fill in. And I was like, oh yeah, totally. But it was weird. It was weird because they videoed our reaction. They said, okay, so this is what's going to happen. Okay, with the blah, blah, blah pick, the Chargers pick, blah, 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 blah. And we all had to like scream and yell and act like we were all excited. So when the pick came in, it was totally, already had been filmed and everything. But for Monday Night Football, those reactions that you saw were like live because we were on a 30-second delayed feed. So we were 30 seconds ahead of you guys. So we lost our minds when things were happening, and they videoed us and then put us up on that.
So cool.
And the way I got that is I got a phone call one day, and it was Jim from the Chargers asking if I would like to do it. And I had told my husband before, it's like, I'm not doing this again. This is a lot of work. You got to go to a practice. You got to sit in front of your iPad for like 4 or 5 hours. And then when he called and asked, it was like, oh yes, of course I'll do it.
Yeah. And when the call actually happened, you're like, of course, I have nothing else. I'd want more.
Absolutely, I would do it. And so, so I was so lucky. I never had those opportunities when the team was in San Diego. And now that they've come to LA, those opportunities are starting to open up for fans. And it's exciting. And it was really fun, I have to admit.
That's wonderful. And it's an exciting time to be a fan right now. I know our record is pretty not great, not what we wanted, but there are some exciting things. People, we're getting talked about in social media, and like news shows are talking about us. So what are your kind of thoughts on that kind of aspect of being a Charger fan and being excited while things aren't going well?
You know what? Justin Herbert brings just a lot. I mean, I was so bummed when Philip left. I'm not a very emotional fan. I don't, I try to stay even keel, but I cried when he left. I was really sad. And to have Herbert come in and, be able to start, and I feel bad for Tyrod, but it is what it is. And Justin started, he brings so much excitement, 60, 70 yard passes. It's, oh my gosh, it's just been so, yes. And our new fan base that we're getting, the younger fans, it's so much fun to watch them because they didn't, they weren't there from day one with Phil, like some of us have been. Yeah. And it's been so exciting to see how excited they are for the team and how, they just are devastated over every loss and kind of like you.
Yeah. I've been following them forever and I'm still just a glutton for punishment. I just can't help myself.
I can't do it anymore. I get really bummed, but I have to switch it up because it just was consuming me before I have to just let it go. Definitely. But I think the thing that's been super cool too with all of what's going on, even though our record isn't good, he's brought so much excitement. This team has brought so much excitement, even with the injuries, that we're starting to sell more seats in SoFi, and not brokers, like diehard fans who love this team are buying seats in SoFi. They've been doing they changed it to where, we used to have to pay for our season tickets in 4 months. Now they're giving you 10 months to pay for your season tickets. Just recently, we've seen a huge influx of new fans deciding to become season ticket holders. And that's super exciting too.
That's awesome. And I think this is an interesting year too, going into the new stadium. There's an element of being scared watching those games where we'd get overwhelmed again. I went to a few games at the previous stadium, just getting overwhelmed. So having the year where literally it's a clean slate, get everyone excited about it again. And then let's go into our stadium with a whole bunch of new season ticket holders. I love that idea. I don't know if it's realistic, but I love that idea.
I think we were really lucky because Diehard Bull Club, we have a section, and it's Diehard Bull Club plus a lot of other fan groups and fan base. And it's section 121. We're in the end zone, on the south end zone. And we have all Chargers fans in our section. And awesome. A lot of the people that bought were they don't sell their tickets to rivals, and they go to every single game. So I'm super excited to be sitting with a group of people that love this team as much as I do, because at StubHub, I'm going to tell you, that last season was really brutal. It was hard.
Went to the Texans game and I just felt really bad leaving. It was not great. So I'm looking forward to going to the stadium, which hopefully we can do soon, but also meeting up with you guys, doing meeting all the Diehard Bolt Club crew and all that, and just enjoying the stadium. So so let's wrap it up with, want to get your thoughts on what's going to happen with this upcoming game. We're playing the Jaguars. What do you think will be the score?
Oh, I don't even know. I'm going to say Chargers 28-21.
I love it. It's good. It's a good, perfect score. Perfect score. All right, Karen. Well, you're the best. Thank you so much for coming on and for
You're
everything you do for us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, I love you guys. And thank you for having me. Only for you guys would I do this. So.
Awesome. Well, we're going to call you again. It's going to happen. This isn't a one-off. We're doing it again.
Okay. All right. You take care. Tell everybody I said hi. And Kay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Karen, you're the best.
Rules. She's the best.
The
We finally
sweetest.
got her on. I'm so excited.
That was awesome. Karen, you.
And thanks for the very kind compliment to the coach's corner. I really, really appreciate it. Kevin, did you hear all
Kyle
that?
was just sitting there all like, I got the best one out of all of them. Look at me. I'm the big man on campus now. Karen thinks I'm the best part of this show. Blah, blah, blah. Look at me. Coach.
Shut up. Before every
Calm
episode,
down,
Kevin's
princess.
like, Kyle, what do you have? What coach's corner are we doing? What are we doing? What do you want to talk about? What are we going to talk about? You're just as excited about my coach's corner.
Yeah, because I have to remind you because sometimes you forgot in early episodes to do your job.
You got one
It's not because I
job.
care about what you're going to say. I'm just trying to get content for the podcast.
All right, princess.
Quit calling me princess.
Oh my goodness. All right. Karen, you're the best. Always good to hear from you. And I'll be honest, it kind of took me a little bit by surprise. I hear Kev, I hear Kyle say Wool Dog, and every now and then I might even hear my parents throw it out after they talked about listening to an episode, but I don't think I've ever heard anybody else refer to me as Wool Dog. So hearing it come from somebody else is cool. It's just nice. It's just nice to hear somebody say your name. So you rock, Karen. Thank you so much. So, all right. So after 2 doses of fan focus, now we've got to look to the dark place that is Twitter. And you guys have been vocal on Twitter. I appreciate it. And before we get to that, I guess there's a question that came in from Craig from Texas, one of our favorites here at Charger Chat. What do you got for us there, Mr. Craig from Texas?
Hola, my Charger brethren. Last week was pretty rough, needless to say. Doubly so, as you guys know. I am from a family of Saints fans, so pretty rough for me. But a week has elapsed. I've had some time to lick my wounds, and I'm looking forward to this Jaguars game. The first of what seem to be very winnable games on the upcoming slate. So on paper, let me preface that, on paper, they look winnable. Just hopeful that we don't play down to the level of competition. The Jags don't necessarily seem as if they're willing to lay down or they're tanking totally, but a Gardner Minshew guy, he's pretty decent. Can make some plays here and there. So just kind of interested to know what you fellas are looking for from the team. Me personally, I'm looking to see the offensive line play a little bit better and us get some semblance of a running game because we're going to need it moving forward. But anxious to hear what you think. Looking forward to talking to you guys again soon. Bolt gang or don't bang, bolt up.
Mr. Craig coming in hot.
They're coming in soft and gentle. I was like,
Yeah,
I was just
the
sitting there
dulcet
listening to those dulcet tones of Craig.
Yeah.
Like, so what do you think is going to happen this Sunday?
Craig.
Craig, always good to hear from you. You know, it's interesting. It always feels like in some of these losses that we are quote unquote playing down against these teams or playing to their level or whatever the term seems to be. I gotta say, I don't necessarily feel that that's the case. It feels that way sometimes as a fan on the outside looking in, but as everybody has continued to mention, like we're not playing with all of our main guys. And I think we're playing the best that we can with what we have and looking at these games where, you know, we go into overtime with the Saints, we go into overtime with the Chiefs, like we're losing these games within one score. Like we're in these games. There's just mistakes happening or things just aren't getting executed. So I got to think everybody's job is on the line right now, except for Justin Herbert. His job is solidified, and everybody else that's making, you know, their big money contracts, they're solidified. I got to think these guys are going to come out playing their hearts out against this Jacksonville team. We got to squash these guys. This can't be a 1-score win or loss or anything. Like that's what it feels like to me. That Sunday after a bye week, we got to come out guns blazing. What do you guys think?
Yeah, It does feel like we play down to our competition a lot. I mean, how many 1-score games can you have and not to some extent play down? Like we play the Bengals, who we know are not a great team, and we beat them by 1 score. And then we play the Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champions, 1 score. So it's like that is our MO of no matter who we're playing, it's a 1-score game. I don't know, like as much as we bitch and complain about why can't we finish games, that the coaching staff, that the players are all thinking that same exact thing. So this should be a good opportunity for us to let's maybe take some chances here if we do get a little lead and see how things go, see how our players respond. I don't know, like you put yourself in a player's perspective. They hear the play calls, they hear the defensive scheme like not changing, they hear what's being called, and they may just be like, this sucks, this is stupid, why are we doing this? Like they're not bought in. And if that's the case, then yeah, their performance isn't going to be as good. So maybe this week we take some chances and change things up a little bit, because you are playing. It is an inferior team talent wise, even with a lot of our backups. We should be the better team. So hopefully that's the case, or hopefully over the this bye week that players bought in a little bit for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm looking. I expect us to get a lead. So I'm anticipating, what I want to see is us be able to finish it out and win a game by 20 plus points. In all honesty, that's what I'm hoping for, is a nice comfortable W to build on, because even if you beat a Jacksonville team, you beat them by 1 score. It's not like, it doesn't make you warm and fuzzy about the team. Right. You know what I mean?
We need
like
a
if you
warm
win
and
this thing by a
fuzzy
last second field goal, it's like, man, good. I'm glad we got a W, but dear Lord, like why does every single game have to be like this?
Yeah, I agree with you, Kyle. I want to smash these fools. That's really what I want this week. But I think there's something to be said. People have been asking us about like the state of Herbert and confidence and that kind of thing. And I think there is something to be said if we do get into a position where it's close. And I hope it doesn't happen. But if we get in a position where it's close, and I want to see Herbert drive down the field and score the game-winning touchdown. I think that could be a game changer for him to show himself that he can do that, to drive and win a game, because he's been so close 3 straight weeks of almost getting there but not quite. So maybe this is a hope for a future game when it's a little better competition. I'd love to just stomp these guys, but yeah, that's kind of my look at it. And I got to be completely honest, I kind of stole that take from Papa Duggan. He kind of got in my ear earlier a couple days ago and kind of inceptioned me. So I just remembered after I said it that wasn't an original idea. I got
but it's a take nonetheless. It's a take nonetheless, yeah. And it's how
my
you feel.
My room's caving in on me currently. Upside down is the inception's crazy right now. So wow, that was almost plagiarism.
No boy, that's okay. Looking at the next question we have here kind of plays a bit into the thought that I have. This was from Aaron, who asked, do you guys feel Lynn allowing the team to go into a passive mode whenever he gets a lead is why we have so many close losses under him? It was the same thing with McCoy. In 18, did we have any huge leads? If not, did that protect Lynn from himself since he had to stay aggressive? That's kind of ties in a bit with Craig's question, but I feel like if we're a team that's 1-4 right now, and we see the amount of conservative play calls that have been happening, going against a team that we should on paper beat. I mean, do you feel like we're going to come out and be aggressive and change the way that we've been playing these last 5 games, or do you think that we're going to continue to be conservative? I gotta hope that they're looking at the record going, look, we're 1-4. Playing this conservative way, we got to go out and punch these guys in the mouth. Like if we're leading, like we got to pretend like we're down by 20 and still be like gunning for that lead. You hope to see. Whether or not we do, I don't know.
They need something new because it's not working. So they had a bye week. They had time to go in there and sit and think about how they want to do it. You know, are we run passing? Is that what we're going to do all of the game once we get up? Or are we going to, use Herbert to extend these drives, make them long, score more points? Like, you clearly have to try something.
Right.
And I think there is something to be said for these close games. Like out of the 3 seasons with Lynn, 2 of them have been close games that we've lost. The 1 season where we made it to the playoffs, they were close games that we won.
Mm-hmm.
So to a certain extent, they've always been close games. I honestly don't remember the last time we blew somebody out by 2-3 touchdowns. It's just not, I don't even remember what that feels like.
No.
We did it. Well, we did it last year against Jacksonville. Remember, Phil was talking smack as we were running down the
See,
field.
I forgot it. It wasn't even real to me.
Right.
Like that didn't
we
even happen.
We had one comfortable win.
Yeah, I don't even remember what that was. Like I know it might have happened, but that's just not ingrained in me
There's so many
anymore.
in between there that you forget about.
Yeah.
It gets buried.
But yeah, I do. I just like I struggle with this whole conservative, aggressive mindset. I guess I just don't know what people want. I don't know. Like, there's no way to go back and look and see, hey, if we were more aggressive, we wouldn't have lost that game. We don't know. Like, you could go back in all these 1-score games. What if we were aggressive and we lose by 20 instead of losing by 3 in a game that we had a chance to kick a field goal and beat the Saints? Like, the chances were there, but we just didn't execute. What if you go uber aggressive, throw the ball 50 times a game, and you're the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Right.
You know, I don't know what we're expecting. We all want to win, and that's not happening.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean the change is to go polar opposite. There's no way for us to know as fans really who's being conservative. Is it the coaches or is it the players? Is on offense, are we audibling to runs? Is when Justin drops back in the fourth quarter, is he always checking down because he's scared to throw the pick when he goes deep?
Mm-hmm.
We just we don't know all of the info. And obviously we're not okay with losing. That I completely agree with. I just don't know how much of it you can blame on a conservative approach and how much you can blame on we need to be more aggressive. Like one of the most aggressive coaches in the league is Bruce Arians. He wants to throw the ball 50 yards every single play. He had a pretty crap year last year. He's had some very bad seasons as a head coach. He's had a couple of good ones, but it's just there's no consistency in it. I don't know. I'm just like struggling for everyone is demanding aggressive. Everyone's demanding aggressive play calling. And there's just princesses out there all over the place. And I just don't know what exactly they want. They want 40-yard downfield passes every single play. Like when we're doing that to a certain extent.
More so than we have in the past. That's for damn sure.
Right. And here's the thing I think that I struggle with, especially on this last game against the Saints, was the amount of runs that we attempted and the amount of yards that we didn't get. Like we're trying to establish a run game, which I know if you can establish a run game, then it opens up for the passing game. They kind of go hand in hand. But if the run game's not working, man, like go to the guy that's obviously talented enough to get freaking 4 touchdowns on a Monday night game. Like let him throw it. And whether or not he's finding the guys is hard to say.
Yeah.
But it feels like they're trying to establish a run game that just isn't there, especially when Austin Eckler, their number one guy, isn't healthy enough to play.
You need Bulaga, you need Trey Turner.
Right. And we don't have a line to open that up
difference.
for the run game either.
Right. It's just running the ball runs the clock, and that's what you want to do when you're up. So that's the whole idea behind run pass. It's not effective all the time.
I was going to say, like, is it better to run down the clock or is it better to try to put points on the board? Like, we see how good Herbert is or how effective he is when he's under pressure. Like, if the pressure's going to come regardless, like, why not just let the guy throw the ball? Like, he's obviously proven that he's able to do that. Why try to establish a run game that you don't have the offensive line you need and you don't have the running backs to be able to do it?
Well, without an offensive line, you can't do anything.
Right.
You can't throw the ball 40 times a game. Justin Herbert will die. And then it'll be, why are you throwing the ball 40 times a game and risking your rookie quarterback? Like there's not a perfect solution to a bad offensive line. And they're doing their best with a rookie quarterback, a bad offensive line, backup wide receivers. And to them, we have a 20-point lead. Let's get some time off of the clock and convert some third downs, which we've been really, really good at doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It sucks. It sucks. Like it's not working to the point of getting W's. But I think it is covering up some other flaws that everyone would whine about if we were doing the alternative. But I think this week is an opportunity for us to try. And still possibly get a W.
And so the other thing to look at in regards to coaching decisions, we've also got one here from Tyler, just asking the very simple question. Do you think Lynn will be on the hot seat if we end up with a losing record?
Well, I think he's on his last year. So I think there's something to be said for that. There's also something to be said for the amount of injuries this team sustained. Like he didn't have all of his tools. So you can give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and what coach isn't on the hot seat?
Right.
You have a losing record. Every coach in the NFL is on the hot seat with a losing record. But as a Charger, you can go 14-2 and be on the hot seat. Yeah. So he's going to be on the hot seat if he has a losing record for sure.
Absolutely. And then from Simon, we have, should we tank for next year to get a high draft pick. I mean, I can't stop imagining having, I'm not going to pronounce this guy's name right because I was about to say Penei, Penei Sewell to protect Herbert blindside.
I just, the thought of tanking right now is just.
It feels too early, right?
Like,
disgusting.
It's, dude, I can never get behind the idea of tanking for anything. I want to win every single game. Whether that puts us in the playoffs or not, I don't give a shit. I want to win football games. I like watching football games that our team wins. So
the Patriots have like the last or the second to last pick every single year, and they're still successful. You can be a good team. You can have a good draft if you're picking in the middle of the pack. You can have a bad draft. Look at the Bears if you're picking second. You take Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes, and so it doesn't matter where you're picking. You still have to evaluate and make good decisions. I do never want to tank a season or a football game, and it's just not real. Like that doesn't actually happen. Coaches aren't going to tank. They're going to lose. They're going to lose their jobs. You know, like players don't want to tank. They play bad. They're not going to get paid. It's just not a thing. Like,
well, and think
I don't know.
about it too this way. Like if we, there people were calling for us to tank last year, tank for Burrow or whatever. If we would have tanked, we would probably, if we would have at least looked at that, we'd have Tua right now. We wouldn't have Herbert, right? Is that safe to say? So the idea that you're going to tank for this perfect player you think is going to be the thing that's going to save our team, I don't think a left tackle is going to save this roster right now. So the idea of tanking for one specific college football player doesn't really do it for me.
Absolutely.
But all due
it
respect,
feels like
though.
too much of a risk.
Good question.
Yeah, no.
Good question.
And dude, a lot of people are out there wanting to tank.
Right.
A lot of fan bases are asking to tank.
Right.
I just personally, that would kill the NFL to me. I think we should have relegation. If you're a bottom two team, you go into minor league.
You got to go play in the XFL to earn your status back.
To get back in.
Yeah.
That would be funny. Excellent question there, Simon. And then lastly, Jacob from Twitter asking us if we were able to attend games, how opposed would y'all be to showing up to the game with pitchforks and torches?
You don't listen to our podcast.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it positive here, man. We're not looking to burn down the new stadium that we just got.
I'd bring a t-shirt gun and fire it off at people that want some swag. I'd be the swag guy.
Yeah, I'm the guy.
Merch.
I'm not bringing torches and pitchforks. I'm bringing hugs and tears and shoulders to cry on if it ends up going that direction. So I can't be mad at this team.
It's a funny idea, though. It's a
funny idea. It paints a good mental picture, Jacob. I do appreciate that. All right. As we've mentioned, upcoming game, Jacksonville Jaguars. Are they also 1-5?
Yeah, they just lost, so they're 1-5. Fool.
Okay,
they're worse than us. We're 1-4. We had a bye, so we couldn't lose last week.
Excellent. All right, so Jacksonville Jaguars 1-5.
Kyle, for that breakdown. That was a great coach's side corner.
Breaking news.
Apparently, their only win was against the Colts. As Papa Phil, you son of a bitch, giving up over 30 points per game. My goodness, averaging 19 points. In the last 5 games, not even breaking 20. I know what that's like. The Jaguars defense is ranked 27 out of 32 teams, and they came out with a bit of a COVID scare on Saturday. They placed 12 players on the team's practice squad / COVID-19 list. Yeesh. These guys better not give our boys COVID. I swear to God, if they're breathing heavy out there on the field, I'm going to smack somebody.
Yeah, you sent us this message, and I was like, oh, God, no, please, no. God, oh, yeah. God, no, please.
We are recording on a Monday, so they may be back to practice by the time this actually hits the air. But
if anything, look at it this way. They're going to have to do remote preparation. They're not going to be on the field getting ready.
Or they move our game to Monday at 2:00
or Tuesday at
so
5.
Oh man, Tonga would be so screwed.
At least Tonga could watch it. Maybe
that's
is that
true.
a better time for
better
him?
for him or worse for him?
I think he said Monday. It's at 6 a.m.
Still balls early in the morning for Tonga.
That's right.
Okay, sorry,
no
dude.
balls
Sorry,
early
Tonga.
mornings, Tonga.
No, sorry, Tonga.
All right, so that's the team that we have to look forward to. For all intents and purposes, we better come out with a W on this one. But regardless of what happens, the Charger Chat podcast will be here to keep it shamelessly positive. But we got to predict what is going to happen this upcoming game. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at Kevin Duggan. What is football prediction?
Oh, brother.
What do you got?
I'm going to go 31-17 Chargers. I think we throw 4 more touchdowns for our boy, Mr. Eckler, or Seabass, or Air Bear, or there's just so many goddamn nicknames floating around right now. I don't think we're ever going to stick with one. I'm going to call him Seabass for the time being.
If you can remember.
That's a multiple score victory you have for us. Two score win.
Yeah.
That's bold, dude.
Yeah, I think it's happening. I think our defense is going to show up, and I think, Air Bear, Seabass will kick some ass.
Just pick a nickname. Stop
Seabass
giving me these
some
double
ass.
nicknames.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
All right. What do you think there, Coach? What are you feeling?
Yeah, I have a 24-17 W because 1-score games. So that's kind of our jam.
Mm-hmm.
And my bold prediction is Trey Turner and Brian Bulaga, Iowa, are going to play in a football game together.
I love it.
You heard it here first, folks.
What you got?
Wool Dog's prediction is going to be, I want to see a multiple score win too. I'm thinking 28-10. 28-10. I think it's going to be a good win for the Chargers. And my bold prediction, I think we're going to get a pick 6. Mike Davis. Mike Davis is going to be coming in to pluck it out of the air from Mr. Gardner Minshew and run it back for a TD.
Ooh.
You like it?
Saucy.
You feel it? You
That's
feeling
real nice.
it?
That's real
All right.
nice.
Yeah, that's the best part of these episodes, folks, is we walk away feeling like we already got the win. We're already kind of, our serotonin levels are going through the roof.
Did you hear
right
that?
now.
We all think we're going to win.
Can I remind you, we haven't been right this year. So
Not once.
Great assault.
Yeah, it feels good right now. Don't take this away from me. All right. That's the end of this monster of an episode, folks. Thanks for sticking around while we talk to a lot of the fans, whether it's on Zoom or on Twitter. We appreciate all of you for reaching out and talking to us because we keep it shamelessly positive, folks. We can't help it. That's how we do it here at Charger Chat. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Love you bye. Especially love you bye to Princess Coach.
Oh, you knew where I was going. Love you bye, Princess
One time,
Kev.
beat you to the punch. Love you bye.
Love you. Bye. And now, a word from our sponsors. Coming this summer, 2 brothers in the big city couldn't quite get along.
Look at me, coach.
Shut up, princess.
Shut up.
Hey, princess, chill.
Stop with the princess shit. Thank you. Please and thank you.
Until one day, there was a curse.
Oh, God, Coach. Whoa.
I can only call you princess now.
The spell needed to be broken.
Dude, like, you can't. I'm so sorry.
I think he was thinking about me when he started crying. I feel bad.
Join the brothers Duggan as they go on a noble quest to break the spell.
Quit calling me princess.
Yeah, well, you're a princess and everyone needs to know.
Only to find that they're both princesses.
And you're blowing it, princess. Come on.
The Princess and the Coach.
Love you bye. Especially love you bye to Princess Coach.
Oh, you knew where I was going. Love you bye, Princess Kev.